Recording.
Okay, welcome. Today is, what's the date? July
The 27th.
27th, 2025. Okay, would you introduce yourselves?
I'm Mary Ellen Davis.
Operate.
Okay, 100 years, people will believe you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is for the long haul. I'm Ray Davis, and this is my oldest sister.
Mary Ellen, Mimi,
Davis.
Davis, Dill.
She was born in 43, right?
Yes.
Okay.
October
Third.
3rd. Okay.
And I was born on Groundhog Day in 45.
Okay.
And I'm Alice Davis. I'm the baby of the four. And I was born October 9th, 1955.
Okay, Joe Davis, born June 10th, 1953. Okay,
We're sticking to it.
Yeah. Which means that I am 72 now. We don't need to go through everybody else's age. You all can figure it out.
Do the math.
20 years from now, or 5 years from now, or whenever.
Next week.
Yeah. Okay. So we have not planned what to talk about, so no telling what we will talk about. But we are sitting in what we call grandmother's house, which was built in 1926. June. And so it's almost 100 years old. This house is now owned by Jeff and Carol Dill.
My son and his wife.
Yes. So we're thinking that being in this house might bring back some memories. And we just toured the house, and it does bring back some memories. So we're sitting in the living room, and which is the next to the room where our father's casket was, and the viewing of his body when he died in July of 1957. And so they brought his body up here in the casket, and those two especially have some memories. What I'd like to do, instead of, we may end up at the viewing, but the 24 hours of when he died, y'all were steward, and how old were you when our father passed away?
I was 13, and maybe I might not have been 13 till October, right after that, but I've always said I was 13 and you were 11.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
I was mature for my age. 11.
Yeah.
Everybody says it.
So our father had gone to work out in the fields, or the maneuvers.
Actually, I believe he was a company commander then, and
Okay.
he would have been in a pretty much,
He was at his desk.
yes.
As desk. Now he passed away of.
Well, I think acute encephalitis
Okay,
is what
we'll
was.
get into that. Acute encephalitis, which probably is bit by mosquitoes. But when you say he's at his
Japanese
desk,
beetles, what I heard.
so.
Are you kidding?
That
No,
was-
he's kidding.
Okay.
We're trying to get the truth here.
Yeah, we have different versions of the
This is
truth.
like herding-
That's sort of why
herding
we're
cats.
recording this. So how did he spend the day when he came home with a headache?
Yeah, let
How did
them
he
tell
spend
you.
that day?
Well, they'd been drinking.
We think.
No, but my mother probably had.
Okay, thought he had, and so she was upset that he was drinking and coming
He
home.
was just delusional.
Okay, he came. So do we know how he spent his day at work?
Well,
When
we
you say
think
at
he
his
was
desk?
sitting at his desk because we got pictures.
Yeah, the picture that we have of him at the desk was made 1 week before he died.
Okay.
And that would have been his general
So
place of work, but as a company commander, they had missions and things. He was a combat engineer, so they did all kinds of field things. They built bridges and film villages and all that. So they often had that kind, but I think around that time, he was just in the office.
So he could have been bit by the insect.
Oh, he
early.
was out a lot, yeah.
Okay, he was
yeah.
out there a lot.
Yeah.
But
At that time, was that coming back from Korea?
No, it was Japan.
57.
No, Korea was in there somewhere.
Y'all
Well,
already
Korea
been to
first,
France.
then, we were Japan, then Korea, then Fort Benning.
I'd like to talk about the maid I had in Japan.
In the France. Okay, we'll get to that.
Me too, we
We'll
had
get to
5
that.
houseboys and 2 maids.
Okay, so on the day he passed away, he comes home might have gone by the officers club after work, come home and had a severe headache.
Yes.
And kept complaining about that. And then the ambulance was called for the folks to come get him.
Actually, he went to bed,
Okay.
and she, as I remember, found him struggling, or in any way, she came sort of screaming out at you and me, and I said, well, we all said, call an ambulance, no, so that was done.
Okay.
And he was, as I remember, like writhing around kind of a thing, and, they came.
Okay.
Now, if something like that were to happen today, it'd be fixed, it wouldn't have been a
Yes.
problem.
Yeah.
They didn't have scans and things
So
like that.
you remember him going past in the hallway past the.
Yeah, I remember the ambulance taking him in the,
Down the hall, down the hall.
yeah, the whatchamacallits were pushing and pulling the gurney down the
Mhm.
hall.
Okay, so they went to the hospital there at Fort Stewart, and then what?
Got on a plane and went to Walter Reed.
The next day.
Was it the next day or that night?
No, it was daytime. It was.
What time do you think the ambulance arrived? Was it?
Evening, oh, it was like 9 o'clock at night, in my mind.
Okay, so it was after dark, after he'd gone to sleep and then woke and couldn't sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, and so they took him, did mother stay with y'all or did she go?
No, she was with him there at the hospital
Okay.
all the time. And then I remember calls that they were gonna take him and she'd keep me posted when, that kind of thing. And they did fly out of that little airport not far from the housing area.
Right,
And that was the next, it was daylight, yeah, it was
Daylight, so they
Early
took him to
morning, though?
Washington to Walter Reed?
Yes,
Did they make it?
no,
no,
So he died in flight?
yeah. Well, she said, she felt like we lost him, she said, in traffic between the airport and Walter Reed.
Mm.
Okay, so he made it, the plane landed.
Landed.
And
She
then-
was in the airplane.
She was with him all the way,
Okay.
that I remember, yeah.
And then, okay, then they turned around and just flew the body and her back?
No, I think they took him and they did all kinds of,
Okay.
like, I don't know how to say it, evidence or
Studies.
studies to just know what may have happened.
Cause of death?
Yeah, cause of death.
Which is still questionable, but encephalitis is what's sort of on
Yes,
the report.
yes.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly when she came back, but it may have been even another day.
Okay, so, doesn't matter, but a few days later, the funeral was up here, and then he was buried at Kennesaw, the Marietta National Cemetery.
Marietta.
Marietta, what did I say, Kennesaw? Yeah,
Yeah,
Marietta.
was it military?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. So that's where he's buried, and that's where Mother's now buried,
Yeah.
and we have several other, Pop Sarge, Mom Mary, a variety of folks. But an early memory of, for me, mainly people telling me, is the viewing of the casket here. Because he was 32 years old, and people were just shocked. Before we get to up here, yeah, you mentioned, who came to the house at Fort Stewart? Because y'all lived on base housing.
It was just us waiting to hear from her, and Uncle Jimmy and Uncle Celine came. And, they were to be there with us and to wait to hear what happened,
Mhm.
what was going on.
Where were
At that
Joe
time-
and I?
I said all kids were there.
Oh.
Yeah, we were all
I
there.
think Uncle Joseph came at some point.
I think he did too, right away, cause I'm not sure where he was.
So they
then.
came as, Mother must have called somebody, and
Yeah.
they came as soon as
But
they could.
everybody started coming, but the first two I remember were Uncle Jimmy and Uncle
Mhm.
Celine.
And, okay, so I'm gonna sort of take a different direction, I guess, but the visitation was up there, but y'all lived in that, you stayed in that same house, for 6 weeks is what you said, as long as you could.
Well, I'm thinking it was even longer
year.
than that, closer to a year, but we had a year to do it, to
Yeah.
move. So it was when she was able to get herself together and all, and find us a place in town.
Okay.
But that, as I understand it, the Army then and still will take you anywhere, your whole household gets everything for up to a year after a death like that. So even if we went to town for a year, which we did for part of that year, they moved us when she made the decision for us to all go to Atlanta.
It first moved you to town, then moved you to Atlanta, to southwest Atlanta, Lyndhurst Drive.
Right.
Okay.
3087?
Lynn Drive.
3087.
Yeah, 3087
Yeah,
Lynn Drive.
and Morrell lives around the corner, and Morrell helped with
Yes.
that that
Yes.
last move.
Morel and Mother were always close first cousins, and it's probably because of Morel that we went to that area. It was near Fort Mac where Mother could still work, and it was near Morel.
Morel Chapman, just for the record.
And that is, not that far at that, even now from LJ.
You say still work, was she working when he died?
Yes, she was at Fort Stewart, and that, she transferred up there, kept working there.
Okay.
What'd she do in Fort Stewart?
It was a civil service.
Base housing, wasn't it?
Well, that was at Robbins,
At
the Air
Robbins,
Force
I
Base.
know.
She kept working there, and that's, I'm not exactly sure what it
Okay.
was.
So, ended up, well, what was it like while you're still at either Fort Stewart or in Hinesville? You know, it was difficult. There she was, 32, maybe 33 years old, 4 kids, and a widow. My understanding, and I didn't realize this till later, but it took her a while to get her bearings, really, to figure out, okay, what am I gonna do with the rest of my life?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty major upheaval in all our lives.
Yeah.
But I think,
So by default.
definitely depression.
By default, you ended up having to, change diapers and take care of her a lot.
Yeah, I'm responsible for that. For her.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
And you too.
You didn't need any help.
Well, I used to carry her and Joe around in the trunk.
Oh.
He did.
Yeah, that was after you learned to drive. But yeah, we can
That's
jump
what we-
around, but so then we moved to Atlanta,
That's
and
when
that's
we were
where
young.
both of y'all graduated from high school.
Right,
And that's where you met Bonnie.
right.
You wanna tell us anything about,
No,
I can tell you a few Bonnie Rose stories.
well, I can tell you that, we ran off and got married. And,
where'd you go? Is it Ringo?
yeah,
Yeah. You and Dolly Parton, or no, you and Bonnie, that's right.
yeah, anyway,
This,
Okay, well, let me.
that was
let me
where
ask
Johnny
you-
was conceived,
Okay, for the record,
and we did the math.
okay, so that's, when did you tell Mother that you were married?
When we tried to move in the house, I guess.
and she wasn't having any of it.
No,
was
she didn't, neither did her daddy. He said, you know, her daddy and mother got together and decided they were gonna have nothing to do with us. So we spent our honeymoon in the hotel, around the pool. It was closed, you know,
Oh, okay. What month was the,
September
September, okay. So-
September what, 4th?
the 9th.
9th.
So Mother, when you went on you got married, went on honeymoon, what it was, and then you come back and tell Mother right then? Or was it a few
No,
months later?
I think it was, probably that day, you
Oh,
know,
okay.
cause I don't, you know, I can't remember, but.
I was already married and gone from home.
Yeah, it wasn't a happy time particularly.
Yeah, it was stressful.
Yeah.
You
So,
were
and
happily married.
So
but
this
the
was what
stress-
year?
1963.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And then you got married in December '62.
Yeah.
Okay. You wanna tell us anything about that?
Well, Wayne and I met at North Georgia College, and he graduated in June of '62, and I left with him, and we were married in December of '62. And our first assignment, his first assignment was Fort Bragg, and that's where we were when this was all happening with Ray and Bonnie. So we didn't know things instantly like we do today, but so I always heard about it all, I guess, what was happening with them, but no.
Did they try to get it annulled?
I don't think
I
so.
never heard.
Maybe
of
her
it.
daddy might have, but it was futile. But I remember going to Ringo, that we borrowed a car and the passenger side door wouldn't shut. So anyway, we got a couple of,
You can tell us.
It's Bonnie.